a 102-point deficit, slashed. In 2 weekends, 62 points were clawed back. That is not a comeback story. That is a championship detonating from the inside, and Marc Marquez did not light a single fuse. His rivals handed him the matches, held the door open, and watched him walk straight through it. Heading into round 10 at the TT Circuit Assen this weekend, the 2026 MotoGP title fight has become something no analyst predicted, and everyone with eyes should have seen coming. Marquez, completely written off after Mugello, now trails championship leader Marco Bezzecchi by just 40 points. Bezzecchi holds that lead by a razor-thin 8 points over his own Aprilia teammate Jorge Martin, the same man who folded 2 of his own team's machines into the gravel at Turn 1 in Hungary a handful of weeks ago. All 3 of them now have to line up at the Cathedral of Speed and perform like professionals while their paddock relationships burn quietly behind them. Nothing about this situation is stable. If you follow MotoGP and you are not subscribed yet, this channel calls out the real drama. Hit subscribe because this title fight gets messier by the round. Go back to Hungary. That is the moment this entire championship cracked open at the seams. Jorge Martin, riding for Aprilia, triggers a catastrophic multi-rider collision at Turn 1 of the Hungarian Grand Prix at Balaton Park. 2 casualties from a single error. He collects his Aprilia teammate Marco Bezzecchi and fellow Aprilia rider Raul Fernandez in the same corner. 3 machines from the same manufacturer tangled in disaster, and the rider responsible for it wore their colors too. Aprilia Racing CEO Massimo Rivola publicly reprimanded Martin following the crash. The team boss had to go on official record about his own lead rider. Publicly. That is how badly the Turn 1 error ruptured things inside that garage, and the aftershocks are still being felt. Martin's answer to all of it? A video of himself putting on his racing leathers, posted to Instagram, and a video featuring a song with the lyrics, "Some smile but want to see you fail." Not a word directed at the teammates he put in the gravel. No acknowledgement of the 2 riders whose race weekends he ended in a single corner. Just pointed defiance wrapped in gym footage. That takes nerve, genuinely, but it also reveals exactly where Martin's head is sitting. Not in team first mode, not in damage control mode, but in individual battle mode. Inside a team environment already under strain, that mentality is a quiet disaster with legs. The race stewards handed Martin 2 long lap penalties for Hungary and carried them forward to Brno. He qualified 10th and finished 9th. 2 penalties, 9 positions across a full race weekend. That is what a single careless corner at Balaton Park cost a championship contender in hard results, while Marquez crossed the line first at Brno and collected the maximum. 2nd consecutive Sunday victory, back-to-back, delivered. But Martin's difficult weekend in Czech Republic was not even the most dramatic story from Brno. Not close. Marco Bezzecchi crashes in the sprint race, already a rough start to his weekend, and then does something that genuinely stops you mid-sentence when you hear it. In an eruption of total fury following the crash, Bezzecchi physically strikes a track marshal, an official, standing at the side of the circuit doing their assigned job. The response from race direction lands immediately and without debate. Suspended from the Sunday Grand Prix, championship leader, banned from his own race. Suspended. Bezzecchi later faced the cameras and admitted the punishment was entirely correct. That honesty matters. It matters a lot. But admitting fault does not recover the Sunday points he left on the table at Brno, and it does not erase the image of a championship leader losing complete composure at exactly the moment his title fight demanded composure most. He arrives at Assen carrying 8 points of breathing room, a teammate who caused team carnage 2 rounds ago and a paddock that now openly wonders whether Aprilia can hold it together through the remaining rounds. If this is landing differently than what you've seen written about this championship, drop a like. It helps more fans find this breakdown right now. 62 points. That is the total Marquez clawed back across Hungary and Brno combined. 2 race weekends. After Mugello, just prior to those 2 rounds, the gap to Bezzecchi stood at 102 points, the kind of number that ends serious championship conversations before they start. Analysts write the obituaries. Fans adjust their expectations. The paddock pivots its attention toward the frontrunners. And Marquez just kept winning, quietly and relentlessly, while his rivals provided the chaos. The physical toll showed at Brno. Temperatures crossed 30 degrees Celsius, turning the race into a full endurance test layered on top of everything else MotoGP demands. Visibly exhausted after crossing the line, Marquez spotted 25-year-old Ai Ogura standing trackside, looking completely unaffected by the conditions. In the post-race podium green room, Marquez turned to Francesco Bagnaia and said, half laughing, "He looks fresh, 25 years old." The paddock got a laugh out of it. But that line quietly reveals what this season is actually costing Marquez physically. And yet, he keeps delivering results that younger riders have not matched these past 2 weekends. That is either iron-willed discipline or something that cannot be taught. Probably both. Then, June 24th arrives, 2 days before Assen's green flag drops, and Ducati makes everything official. Marc Marquez signs a new 2-year contract extension. Factory Ducati Lenovo team locked through 2027 and 2028. Every whisper about his future finished. On that same day, Ducati confirms Moto2 champion Pedro Acosta will join Marquez as his factory teammate from 2027, with Francesco Bagnaia departing for Aprilia. That reshuffles the front-running grid entirely, announced right before a key race weekend. That timing. Calculated. Marquez rolls into Assen settled, signed, and winning. His rivals arrive carrying damage. Martin has shrugged off reports linking him to a Yamaha move, insisting his immediate focus is on Aprilia, while admitting his team is looking at his future, which is easy to declare and considerably harder to execute when your team relationship is fractured this visibly. Bezzecchi holds 8 points on Martin. Third-placed Fabio Di Giannantonio sits 23 points off the lead in third, and the Dutch Grand Prix demands a level of mental sharpness that is genuinely difficult to manufacture when this much has gone wrong. The TT Circuit Assen runs 18 corners, 6 left, 12 right, carved across Dutch flatlands, one of the oldest and most technically demanding tracks on the entire calendar. Every decision on that layout has a cost attached to it. Poor judgment shows up in lap times immediately, and distraction does not stay hidden for long out there. Riders who walk in mentally fractured get exposed by those 18 corners, round after round, with nowhere to conceal the cracks. And right now, the Aprilia camp is carrying distraction in quantities that should worry every fan backing their championship bid. 40 points is not insurmountable, not for the rider who just erased 62 in a fortnight. The greatest championship recovery in recent MotoGP history is not a story being written somewhere in the future. It is happening right now, round by round, at a track where the best rider in the room has historically found a way to win. Martin posted his caption, "Some smile, but want to see you fail." In the Ducati hospitality unit at Assen this weekend, Marquez's smile is completely genuine, and it is backed by his 2 trophies, a signed contract, and 62 recovered points. The math is pitiless and clean. Martin needs to outscore Bezzecchi consistently while keeping Marquez behind him. A 2-front battle for a rider still managing the psychological weight of the Hungary fallout. Bezzecchi needs clean, composed weekends with 0 repeat incidents to hold off the most in-form rider on the grid right now. And Marquez needs Aprilia's internal fractures to keep opening while he keeps executing at the front. Right now, all three of those things are happening at the same time. Can Martin deliver the disciplined, clean ride that Assen demands after what he showed at Balaton Park? Can Bezzecchi carry a race ban, a narrow 8-point championship lead, and a deteriorating team dynamic into the Cathedral of Speed and still perform like a title contender? And does anyone inside the Aprilia structure genuinely believe their civil war won't surface again the moment the pressure peaks this weekend? If this breakdown hit the way it deserved to, like and subscribe. Every round left in this championship gets covered right here, and you do not want to be catching up after the fact.